Red ocean versus blue ocean. This is a very important business topic that if you look into this more, if you research, and if you implement it correctly into your business, you will make more money. So today I'm just pointing this out to you and just giving a brief overview of what it's all about. So, are you in a blue ocean or are you in a red ocean swimming with all the sharks in the bloody waters fighting over the last little scraps of your marketplace? Now, the blue ocean and the red ocean. The oceans represent your market space. It represents the field of play of which your business exists in, right? And a red ocean is a business place, a marketplace full of competition where everything is, a good example of this would be something where everything is completely commoditized and all of the prices are just so competitive with each other that one guy goes, oh, I'm going to sell my, say for example, toilet paper. I'm going to sell my toilet paper for 10 cents cheaper than this guy. And the other guy goes, oh, I'm going to sell it for 5 cents cheaper than this guy. And back and forth until it's a race to the bottom, right? And this is because the product itself, toilet paper, everybody kind of looks at it going like, it's a very, it's a commodity. It's a generalized product that, you can find anywhere. It's basically the same as all the other toilet paper, it's whatever, right? It's not such a crazy product. A blue ocean, in comparison, is a market space where there's no competition at all. People have not found out about these waters. It's uncharted territory. It's a new market space. So when you enter into a blue ocean, into that new market space, you can be in a category of one, meaning that you are the expert in that entire ocean, which means that if you're able to solve a very particular problem for a very particular set of people that are in pain enough, they will see that you are the only person that can provide that very particular solution to their very particular problem. And then, because there's no one else around, they'll be happy to pay you even more, right? So a really good example of this would be at the doctors. You have a general practitioner, a GP, versus a specialist. A GP is just a regular doctor. They do amazing work, and there's like 50 bajillion guys out there that do that work all around. And you can kind of, jump between general practitioners here and there. Usually you would stick with the one that you've just been around with the longest, right? But generally, if you've got a cough or something like that, you can go to any general practitioner and they'll tell you generally what's wrong with you, right? Take this pill, do this thing, I don't know, just check your blood pressure or whatever. But when you have something serious, like you need to get a knee reconstruction, or you have something going on with your eyesight or something, at that point, that is when you would go and seek a specialist. A specialist specializes in that one little part of the body, say for example the eyes or the knee, right? And those guys, they get paid a lot more, because they're the ones that, if you want to get the job done right, you don't go to a generalist. They probably won't even know how to do the surgery for your cataracts or your knee reconstruction, right? You go to the guy that's like the best in the city or best in the country or best in the world to get the job done. That is when the competition is so much less. But the market that those specialists are targeting, they're only targeting people with, people that need knee surgeries or something like that. It's a much smaller market than people just with all the problems that a general practitioner would help with. But those guys with that very particular problem in that smaller market, they would travel around the world to find you and give you a boatload of money because they know that you're the best at what you do to solve their very particular problem, right? So in this particular case, the specialist has kind of separated himself from the red ocean of just general medical practice and has etched out a little extra, nook in the market space where nobody has really gone to before, or maybe just a few people have gone to. And he's specialized in that, just that tiny little sliver of the market. But that little market, whoever's in it, they know they want to come to him and give him fuckloads of cash, right? So how does this apply to you if you're a small business owner, for example? Say if you are a coach or if you're a therapist of some sort. There's a difference between say for example, a hypnotherapist, a guy that just says, hey, I'm a hypnotherapist, I do hypnotherapy, I can help you to stop drinking and smoking and this and that and everything. At that point, you are competing with the 50 billion other hypnotherapists out there in medical clinics, in basically just running their own little business and everything. And the general standard price in the market is about $125 an hour, right? And so when people come up to you looking for just a regular hypnotherapist, they're going to look at you and then they're going to look at everybody else and go, well, you charge $150, that guy charges $125, you guys kind of do the same job, I'll go with that other guy. And then it's a race to the bottom until nobody's making money. But say that you decided to specialize in one very particular thing, in a very particular niche. That's the key word there, niche. You niche down into a specialty and say that rather than just being a generic hypnotherapist, you now help a very specific audience to get a very specific result that overcomes an obstacle that they're finding, or does it within a certain particular time frame that they're particularly looking for, right? So say, for example, if you switched over from being a general hypnotherapist to someone that helps lawyers to quit smoking within their lunch breaks, then you become a category of one. You become the guy that the lawyers now recommend. They go, my God, this guy, he helped me to stop smoking within my lunch break because that's all the time I have in my busy days. I only got my lunch break, but he was able to help me stop smoking then, right? It's the same skill set, but now, because you've specialized for that one particular market to address their particular need of only having time within their lunch break and wanting to stop smoking, now you're in a category of one. And instead of charging $125 or whatever, which is the average, you can charge a lot more, say $1,500 per session, right? You've specialized into that little market. And the bonus part of that is that now that you're in that category of one, now that you're that specialist, people can also be able to recommend you, right? So for example, the lawyers, they would know that you're the best guy for the job amongst all the other lawyers. They'll be like, hey, lawyer friend, I've had amazing results from this particular guy. Go to that hypnotherapist there because he works for us lawyers, right? As compared to a generalist who he's just targeting everybody, people won't really know how to talk to him except, oh, he's a good guy, I've just been with him for a while and blah, 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 right? So being a specialist allows for you to target your market more specifically. It allows you to communicate with them better because you know exactly what their problems are. who specifically you're talking to, what they're thinking, what they're feeling, what they're going through. And you know how to market to them better because you've selected a very particular part of your market rather than going, I help everybody with everything. The marketing becomes very difficult. It's very much like a restaurant where if you came in and they were very generalist, you know, they may be very good at what they do. They'll be very hard to recommend. If you came in and you said, hey, what's good? And they said, well, what do you want? And from that point, it's just like, well, do you want Indian? Sure, we got that. Do you want Italian? Yeah, we got that too. Do you want to have burgers? Yeah, we got that as well. That restaurant may be good at everything, but the customers are going to be from all over. They're going to be confused about what do they recommend you? Who do they recommend you to? What do they call your restaurant? Versus the best Indian restaurant in town. People would go, oh, if you're looking for Indian food, this is the place to go. Right? Because they've specialized a little bit more. So your ability to niche down, to enter into that blue ocean, that little nook of the marketplace where nobody else is touched, that very specific pod, allows you to be much more focused on who your target audience is. It allows you to better your marketing because you know who they are, how to speak to them, what they're feeling, and how to deliver to them the solution that they're specifically looking for. And it allows you to be the number one expert in that field because there's no competition. And it allows you to get more money because you're not competing with everybody on price. You're the specialist. You solve a very specific problem. People will come and travel looking for you to solve their problem. And on the other side, on the flip side, from the consumer's point of view, they will like you better because they feel that you are speaking directly to them, right? Especially if you're a content creator or if you make advertisements or whatever, they'll feel, oh my God, this guy knows exactly what's in my head. I love this guy. I want to get everything that he puts out, right? So, and also they'll know how to recommend you better. They'll know, oh, my friend is also the same as me. I want to recommend this particular service, this particular guy, over to my friend because we're having the same problems. So that's how it helps you to grow. Now, finding this blue ocean can be a bit of a challenge. You have to figure out who it is that you want to serve. And you have to do a lot of research into figuring out what exact problems they have. You have to figure out what language they use to speak to each other, what language they use to about their problems. Like, for example, with the lawyers, their problem is that they smoke a lot and that they only have their lunch breaks to resolve that issue in. So if you're able to do that, then boom, you have a specialization that works with them. So I would suggest you guys that do have businesses, look into this. This is actually a huge thing. Look into this, find your specialization, find your blue ocean, become that category of one. Because if you research into this and if you apply it correctly, this will absolutely revolutionize how you do your business. All right, thanks guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.